All right. I'm about to go live in five, four, three, two, one. Mm, right. All right. Cool. All right. Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy Chris G.
And it's your boy, the Rock Report. Cheers.
So, fellas, what's going on today? Fellas, what's going on?
I'm glad to be on the mic,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Glad you woke up today.
Yeah, listen, man. Listen, man. It's been a long, rough week. As you can tell, I'm still self quarantining myself, but it's all good though. It's all good. So before we start, man, if you don't know, if this is just your first time tuning in, we are previewing The Last Dance, all of the episodes. So shouts out to ESPN for putting that on. Also, we want to let y'all know where y'all can find us. Y'all can find us on Facebook, Don't Shoot the Messenger Podcast, Real DSTM1 on Instagram. Also on YouTube, Professional Sutton. You can find us there. You can find all our videos after we air on Facebook. You can find it there. And also, we want to shout out our sponsor, 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Let me turn you up. There we go. So, fellas, we watch parts 5 and 6. What is your take on it, fellas? What is your take on it?
Rock, you wanna hit that first?
I'm gonna let you go ahead, man, because
Uh oh.
I got some other stuff cooking.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right, so like just give me a quick refresher because I watched 5 and 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
So
Oh.
five and six, I don't mean to drop that. I don't mean to
So
drop that
so
bomb like that.
basically,
Five and six
you
was about 5 and 6 was about the more of the dynasty, the Kobe, the All Star game, stuff
yes
like that,
sneakers,
right?
all
Yep.
that sneakers,
Yep.
all that,
The
man.
sneakers and all
Listen,
that. I
Chris.
mean,
Listen, you don't gotta
All right.
stunt on us because you got the advanced copies, man. You know what I mean? Come on, Chris. You don't gotta do that, man. You don't gotta
oh
do
you
that, man.
oh y'all ain't on episode 10? Oh my bad. My
Come on,
bad.
Chris.
My bad.
Come on,
My
man.
bad. I didn't mean to floss on y'all like that.
A little bit.
Why he my boy?
But no, actually when I was watching it, it kinda to me this episode it kind of showed why Jordan is the king, why he's regarded as so. Because I mean, it talked about the business dealings and how basically, Jordan brand is still the biggest shoe out there.
Right.
I mean, I hate to, talk about your boy, but it's bigger than the LeBrons
Oh
and it's
yes.
bigger than every other shoe. It's
Definitely,
just
definitely. Like, listen.
it kind of shows that he's still king and in all of the commercials. I mean, that's one of the reasons why he could have that bad contract for so many years because he was
Because he
getting
got
that Hanes
yes,
money, that Gatorade money,
that
that
Nike.
Nike money. He was just, the McDonald money. I remember seeing Mike everywhere when I was a kid.
Yes.
Like every commercial, the Be Like, everybody know like the Like Mike commercial.
Yeah.
Shit,
Everybody.
they sing it in the first Bad Boys. I want to be like Mike.
Word.
You
Word.
get shot like him too.
You know, Go ahead, Ruck. I'm gonna let you go, man, because I have some
No,
points I want to make, man. But after you though, come
no,
on,
I
man. After
just
you, man.
my whole thing, my takeaway from the episodes is just basically how much of a business he is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
how that was the stage was set for that from the beginning. The great takeaway and interesting part that I took away from the episodes is, I had the opportunity when I was in high school to work at a law firm
Mm.
in Jersey, and one of the big partners there was actually like a consultant for David Falk. So,
So this is about 85 then.
I got to
It's about
stupid
85.
man. So the reason that was really intriguing to me is because I remember the summer that David Falk probably had about 54 NBA free agents, and I remember him having a phone conference and him telling the dude like, "Yo, I don't want to sign a contract for nobody this year that's less than $80 million."
Mm.
And he's talking about he's dealing with Patrick Ewing, Jordan, Rod Strickland, like a number of players, and I'm like, yo, just from the angles, like it was a great business plan set up for Mike from day one, just like LeBron took that blueprint
Mhm.
and kind of moved it forward too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Chris, I think that, when you talk about sneakers, when you talk about legacy, there is no one that is well known and that is well sold out like Michael Jordan. As you know, yesterday, the state of Georgia allowed some Negroes people to go free. And people were standing in line for Jordans. Again, these are the sneakers that came out, numerous times, but just his impact. And I think that what it symbolized to some people is greatness. Some people think, well, if I have a pair of Jordans on, it symbolized that I am of certain stature. Now, again, I like Jordans too, so I don't want to sit up here and be like, oh, if you wear Jordans, you're a fool. No. But what I'm saying is that people are making this a big business. There are Jordans that will not be released to the regular public like the Eminem Jordans because they are so sought out and people are putting names on Jordans that never even see him play. But again, his impact on the culture of sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan has brought the sneaker culture to a whole nother level. Now, don't worry about if he dressed like Mary J. Blige. That's not the issue here.
Yo,
The issue
yo,
is,
you so
listen,
disrespectful.
listen. I'm just telling the truth. Allegedly, the issue is, or what I'm talking about, is how much of an impact he has on the game of basketball, but also on the culture. When you think of hip hop, you think of how he has, Drake has OVO, that sneaker, company. Well, the label, but OVO sneakers partner with Jordan. Everybody want to be associated with Jordan. Even people that don't even know about Michael Jordan, like Miley Cyrus had a whole song about it. What's in the club with my J's on. She probably don't even know what the hell it's about, but she understands how important it is to the culture. So shouts out to Michael Jordan. Again, a lot of
She
sneakers.
had enough black D. She know what it's about.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna.
listen.
I'm.
When
I'm
somebody,
just
you
trying to
listen
get a
after
little
you get,
saucy.
after you get done and you see somebody leave some Jordans underneath your bed, after the 12th pair, you kind of want to worry about what is these sneakers that are under my bed. But anyway,
But hold on, Quet. Hold on.
go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead, please.
It's funny though that this episode kind of lined up with. I don't know if y'all familiar with The Last OG, Tracy Morgan.
Yes, I am familiar with that show. I haven't watched a whole lot of it. But
This week's episode, he was talking about. It was all about Jordans actually.
mm-hmm.
His ex-girl had got him a pair of Jordans that he never wore, that he went to jail and she put him in a storage unit. But they were like some rare black and gold ones, and they were worth $25,000. But and the whole episode is about that. But before he got to that point, he was talking about, which I think everybody has this story, which is why I think it's relevant. He said, he remembered where he was in life and where he was when he got his first pair of Jordans and he didn't have to wear dun-duns anymore. Now, Ruck is old enough to know what the dun-duns are.
Bang, 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 bang.
But it's true because everybody got a story about the first time
Yes.
they finally got a pair of J's.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, do you remember
What's up?
your first pair? And then Ruck, after Chris get done, tell me yours, and I'll tell you my first pair of Jordans. What was your first pair of
Well,
Jordans
yo,
that you can
all right.
remember?
So, I'm not good with the numbers, so I ain't trying to be crucified.
I can
But
help
if you go to the picture that you got up right now with the Jordans up there,
Uh-huh.
the one all the way down to the right,
Okay, so those are the 13.
the 13. So the first pair I got was a pair of white and blue. The part that's white up there was blue. I had a pair
Gray?
of white and blue. Right, white, blue, and gray. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Those were the first pair of Jordans I got. I was in the 7th grade, and I kept them mugs crispy. And anybody who know me, I've never been a big shoe dude. I'm just not. It's just not my thing. White, black ups, and a pair of Tims. That's all you need. But
Up north nigga.
yo, when I got those, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. It was too fly. Those Jordans was, those are my babies. I wore them things into the ground because where we come from, your mom wasn't buying you no
Right.
Jordans like that.
Right.
If you got a pair of Jordans, especially when you got other siblings,
Yes.
you ain't getting no Jordans like that. So I kept those Jordans near and dear.
But also, we actually wore our sneakers back then. You know what I mean? So like
That's true.
It was a part of the game. You got the sneakers and you wore them. It was, again, now it changed so much because you got people who actually buy sneakers to just hold on to them. Like when we got them back in the day, you put them on because you wanted everybody to see them. I remember seeing kids when I was at my group home. They would literally take their shoes off when they would walk outside and then put them back on when they went inside. Crazy stuff. I say, yeah, I'm wearing my sneakers.
What?
Yes. Like I seen kids who actually took their sneakers off when they took the Jordans off when they got outside, and then put the Jordans back on when they went back inside. That's how it was. Now, Ruck, man. So after you bought your first pair of Converse, when was you remember your first pair of Jordans, man? Like what number were they? Because I know that you was fresh to death, man.
Yo.
Either one or twos for sure.
Oh shit!
Yo.
Chris is being spicy.
So my first pair, man, like remember them joints like it was yesterday. Fresh out the box, baby blue 4s.
Ooh. And them just came out last month too. They just came out last month.
Them things was something. Oh my goodness, man! And the dopest part about it for me, like when I got my first pair, was that. So I went to Catholic school. So the one thing that Catholic school lets you do, you had to have on the entire uniform, but you could wear whatever shoes you wanted to. I wore them joints into the ground, and I have to say that like Quet just described, as soon as I got to school, I took them joints off, put some other joints on for the rest of the day, including recess, and when I went home, I put them joints right back on.
He said these Chuck Taylors ain't never felt this good.
Baby blue 4s, man. These joints was unbelievable until the dude robbed me for them, and then that was another story.
Okay, you know what? I didn't want to bring it up, but I was about to ask though. Being in Jersey, did somebody rob you of those sneakers? I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They sure did.
Okay.
They sure did.
Shouts out to Jersey for staying Jersey. Shouts out to Jersey for staying Jersey.
That's when I learned the famous tagline when somebody asks you, yo, what size is those? You just say, not those, and swing.
There you go. Or just get. Listen, man. Like Queen Latifah said, I can't forget New Jersey. There you go, man. So my first pair of Jordans that I can remember was they were the nines. They were the Aqua Nines. I remember those. They were the people calling the Bugs Bunny. I'll never forget those. They were actually too small for me. Cause me and my boy, we actually had like a bet. I don't know what the bet was, but I said, "Yo, let me get these if I win this or whatever." So I ended up winning, and I got the joint. So now, mind you, at the time, I wore a size, let's just say 8, but them joints are like a 7, and I put my whole foot in
Oh,
them
you
joints.
wildin'.
Listen, I was in 3rd grade, so you couldn't tell me nothing. And then I
Yeah,
was so pressed
that's
to
why you
wear
got
them.
that full salad on your foot right now.
Listen, I was so pressed. This is how pressed I was, right? School had an hour delay for what reason, I don't know, but I was pissed because I wanted everybody to see these joints. And man, when school came back, I was walking bow-legged and everything. I was walking pigeon toe. I wanted everybody to see my joint. Say, yo, man, hey, Quay, you got the new? These? Oh, come on. And then when you young, when people notice your shoes, it's like you want to be humble, but you don't. Like, yo, Chris, what you got on? Oh, come on, man. I had these for a minute, man. I had these for a minute.
Let me say this, man. If there's one reason that Mike will forever be the sneaker GOAT above Bron, because Mike Jordan had the only shoe out that would make you instantly,
yes,
if you wasn't already, pigeon-toed and bow-legged.
Yes. Well,
instantly.
Well, in my
you
case,
instantly became Spike Lee.
Right.
Yeah,
well, in my case, I had no choice because they were too small. But like you said, it was a whole swagger. It was a whole way that you wore these sneakers because once you put on the Jordans, you felt that you were the best at anything. And I remember playing basketball, football in my joint, baseball. You wore your Jordans everywhere because you wanted everybody to see them. Now, as you got older, you realize, I gotta take care of them. But the first
shoes,
right?
Must be
the
shoes.
First pair of Jordans that I remember getting, they were the white and baby blue 14s. My mom bought them, but my cousin told me, he said, "Yo, listen, don't tell nobody, but because you graduating on honor roll and going to high school, your mother getting you the 14s." So this how exclusive it was, right? This how exclusive it was. I went downtown, and I believe it was I don't know if it was Footloose or Sports Stuff.
Wait, Quit. You gotta let the younger audience know there used to be a mall downtown.
Yeah, well, so it used to be a mall downtown, but I went outside the mall. It wasn't even at the mall because the mall didn't even have me yet. So I had to go to, I believe it was Sports Center, Sports Stuff. It wasn't Sports Center. But anyway.
Probably Sports Stuff.
Right. So I went downtown and it was the 14s. Right? It was the 14s. They had my size. But dude said, check this out, right? I can give them to you, but I can't give you a box or receipt, and I got to charge you $150. Now, my mother, if she didn't know, if she would have waited till Monday, she only would have had to pay $125. But in her mind, she was already ready to pay the $150. So, dude, let me walk out. No box, no receipt, the all white and Carolina blue 14s, and I wore them joints down. I wore them joints straight out the store.
Hey, yo, Chris.
Straight out the store.
Chris, now, luckily there's a statute of limitation on stealing, right? because clearly he bought them joints.
Clearly.
Yo, I didn't
First
steal.
thing I heard was no receipt.
And you talk about New Jersey.
Yo, listen, that was the policy. Now you can get in trouble. You can get your whole sneaker license taken away. But at that time, I was able to walk out the store with no receipt and no box. And I wore them joints. Yeah. I remember wearing them down. People like, yo, where you get those from? They're like, yo, you can't tell nobody where you got them from either. I was like, yo, I can't tell you, yo. These is exclusive.
Yeah,
like,
there definitely was some fishiness
going
on.
No, they was not. Yo, I call my mom's right now, yo.
No,
I call my mom's right now.
It's not on you.
Oh, right, on them.
Sold you those joints that Sports Stuff. It's definitely something fishy. Receipt. Hold on.
Yeah,
he could say, I can't give you a box. What he can't say is, I'm gonna sell these to you, but I'm not gonna give you a receipt. So where's that booking information going in bookkeeping and Sports Stuff? That's why they out of business.
Listen,
that's why they out of business right
now. He made a buck.
Taking his cash.
Right. Listen. Yeah, and that's what he said. Now he made $25 because there was $125 on that Monday. But he sold it for $150 because he knew how bad I wanted them. And he was like, you know how it go. Yo, this the last, I can't sell you that. Yo, come on, man. Yo, it's Friday. All right, here you go. And we had a cookout that Saturday. Boy, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me shit. So I remember my J's, man, very, very well. The ones that were bought. Now the other ones, I had one pair of Team Jordans, but you know they were like the second pair of Team Jordans that Ray Allen was, rocked. But anyway, those wasn't the Jordans. Now I am not up here to talk about nobody that wear Team Jordans or whatever type of Jordans you wear, but I like the retro Jordans. Those are my favorites. So that's what I like. Now, clearly, episode 6 talk about Michael Jordan's excessive gambling. Now, I watched that and I said, I'm not going to go too hard on Mike. I think he was just a competitor. I think that he was just so competitive. Because I know for me, I am very competitive.
No, don't do
What's
that.
What's up? Why not?
Don't do that.
What? Nice little cop out there.
Don't do that.
What?
He has a gambling problem.
Okay, well,
listen.
Serious one. It's been well documented. His father had the same problem. There were rumors back in the day about that's what his father ended up dying from, being associated with that. No, we're not going to let Mike, listen, especially because everybody always clamoring about, you always say stuff about Braun. Nah, we're not going to let Mike get off of that because that's what Mike does. It's clear, even from the episode. You losing to the security guard in the hall, yeah, bro, it's a problem. And I guarantee you that he didn't stop there.
No.
So it is what it is. But again, the thing about some of our greats having flaws like this is that's what makes them great. That's what makes them human.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But no, we're not going to let Mike get off the...
Okay.
We're not going to bypass that.
And if that's what you want to say, then that's what you're going to say. But before we start, Chris, before I let you go, I do want to thank, again, our sponsor, 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Ruck said that he has a gambling problem. I can't, argue with you on that point, Ruck. I guess we got to call a spade.
Can't nobody argue.
Right.
Can't nobody argue that point.
Can't nobody.
But,
that motherfucker like to gamble. A lot.
Yes, a lot. On everything. Again, I knew he had a gambling problem. I thought it was more like blackjack, regular stuff. I didn't know it was like coin flipping. Wow. Who gonna be the first to walk out the door? I mean,
they say he bet on everything.
I mean, I'm a competitive driver. Like sometimes I be on a highway, I drive, and people don't realize that they in a race. That's a little different. I'm not betting on money, but again, I'm just saying.
Anything but a gambler. It was like pulling teeth for you to put down $60 at the roulette table.
You damn right. You damn right. Listen. Being a competitor, being the competitor and the gambler is two different things. Michael Jordan said there's only one, but it's not. I am a competitor. I will not bet on everything. Now this dude bet on everything. And I think what I liked about it, again, it showed the human side of it, I think. Because I don't want to get too crazy here, but goddamn, Mike, that was tough, man. That was really tough, yo.
Listen, man, a lot of people have, certain people or certain athletes just can't turn it off. And if you want to say his competitive nature bled into his gambling, like I hear you. And I feel you, and he absolutely was a person that could not turn it off. But again, I think, different players have that. I mean, Kobe had that in terms of his competitiveness and obsession with just being great.
Right.
So there was a lot of things that he probably missed on. There were other people that party, things like that. Like Mike Tyson, his thing was, okay, listen, that white horse and
the booger sugar.
But I tell you this, you won't let Mike Tyson hit you today if you ain't seen that video.
Oh my goodness! Don't he look ferocious?
Oh my, still do.
Goodness.
Lemonade is a popular drink and it still is. Same thing applies to Mike Tyson.
But the biggest thing, I really wanted to take from just the episode that I thought was really cool was the part that Kobe had when Kobe was like, listen, I don't want to have the conversation of who's better, me or Mike, because he was like, without him, there's no me.
Word.
And I think that's the one thing that I took from both of the episodes, because even when you go back to the branding, right? Think about what David Falk said. there were only tennis players that had shoe deals,
Yes.
right?
They just call it tennis
Outside of
shoes.
Magic, outside of Magic and Larry, Isaiah a little bit with Avia, but there were only certain players that had that. And for him to go to Nike and kind of rebrand an entire organization, and then also, I know y'all saw it. I posted it on my Instagram. For everybody else that doubted it, shout out to Tick, shout out to Ray Dupree. Yo, the black and red was the OG ones, the first ones that got banned. Go to my IG page and check that out at the record report. But I just think
I know
there's no LeBron, there's no Steph, there's no KD, there's no Kyrie, there's no Kobe in terms of branding and how they've been able to move that dial as far as businessmen without the groundwork that Mike put together, because he took everything to a different level.
True.
Yep.
True.
No, you're right about that. Also, about this episode, something that kind of came to light. Obviously, we were all affected and still feeling a kind of way about Kobe Bryant. But a lot of the news that came out at his funeral that him and Mike was actually close, I feel like we kind of got robbed, because I think this documentary would have showed how close Mike and Kobe was, and then we could have actually talked to Kobe and be like, "Yo, y'all was close."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It kind of, among a bunch of things about Kobe dying so early, another reason why I feel robbed.
Right.
Just to add on to the list of reasons why Kobe dying so early kind of robbed us, because it was a revelation at his memorial that Mike and him were actually close. Mm-hmm. I didn't think they were close at all. And I thought,
either it was just it was competition, right? It was just competition.
Yeah, like I didn't think that. So to see that, obviously we found out at the memorial, but to see that this was in the documentary that was shot obviously well before the untimely death of Kobe, it was like, damn, that would have been the biggest talking point come tomorrow. After shows like this, like, yo, Finn, did you know Kobe and Mike was actually close? And then he was like getting on his moves, and he actually really felt like that about Mike. I always thought there was some hostility between them.
Yeah, man. And and like you said, because Kobe would have loved this, because he loved Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like he patented his whole game around Jordan, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Kobe a fake Jordan wannabe." Well, if 5 rings gets you that, because you're patting yourself after someone who's great, then guess what? I'm sure Kobe never had a problem with it.
Sign me up.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like that's not a problem to be, emulated, and to have someone like Kobe say, "Hey, I want to be like you," and look what he did after that. So shouts out to him again, like you said, man. Rest in peace, Kobe. Because because it's such a tragedy that he didn't get to see this, and like you said, Chris, the comment, because after this episode, they definitely would have had Kobe on. He definitely would have been talking about 100%. All of this, man. 100%. So we definitely was right.
Shout out to Gigi too, because it was her birthday 2 days ago or something like that.
So rest in peace. Now on a somber but happy note, they did show the Bulls whooping the Knicks' ass. I'm just saying. Listen, I used to like watching the Knicks. I was a Charlotte Hornets fan, but being that I was in the New England Northeast area, I used to love to watch MSG when the Knicks was good, because it was good games. So you watch it and you're like, yes, you're gonna watch a good game. You're gonna watch the Knicks be hard, tough, everything that Knicks basketball used to be. Now, when you watch the Knicks game now, it's a little different. But Phil, shouts out to my boy Phil Plummer, man. He was dreading this day. He's like, I know that they're going to show when the Knicks get dragged by the Bulls. Now, but they really didn't get dragged too bad by the Bulls. They just lost a lot. They just lost. That feud will go back and forth. But Charles Oakley, shouts out to Charles Oakley, he was a real one. I seen an interview with him and Pippen. He said, listen, Phil had Pat Riley's number. Pat Riley thought he was doing something. He said, but Phil had that Zen master. He said, Pat would draw up these plays, and then I'm like, okay, but what about the rest of the game? Oakley said, anytime we played the Bulls, we always played as if we were down 4 points because that's all it came to at the end of the games, like 4 points or less. And that was so evident. But watching the Knicks, man, and shouts out to CT, but if you're from Connecticut, you know this name, Charles Smith. Charles Smith, who was a former Knicks player, and he probably was one of the most hated dudes in the Knicks organization. But I would say after watching that clip, he was fouled, man. Charles Smith was fouled. They didn't call it. He was fouled. So all you Knicks fans, you can say what you want. He should have made it, but he also was fouled. And again, it was the Chicago Bulls. David Stern made sure that those boys were well taken care of. What did y'all take on the New York Knicks finally getting some just due and getting their ass smacked like we knew they would, but just to see it again, how did y'all like that?
Man, I just think the thing that stuck out to me about that game was I was like, yo, he really pulled those out the closet, huh? And then for him to just get the double nickel like it wasn't nothing, I was like,
nothing.
Yo, for me as a basketball fan, and no disrespect, but all disrespect intended to Knicks fans, he always, it was like, yo, okay, y'all gonna get this today.
Right.
Like it didn't even matter, yo. It didn't even matter. He was just like, that's it, y'all gonna get it today. Every game that they played. Every game. Now, Chris,
crazy.
I know you weren't a Knicks fan, but watching.
Nobody cares about the Knicks. Nobody cares about the Knicks, yo.
Listen,
let me tell you something. The Knicks is like talking about the Cowboys. Why? They haven't done anything.
No, we talking about them because we get to laugh at them. We get to laugh and bring up that.
Man, nobody cares about the Knicks, about the coulda, shoulda, woulda beens, okay? I don't talk about the Knicks because they suck. They always suck. And maybe one day they won't suck, but they still suck right now. And I feel the same way about the No, do something, then I'll talk about you. Bye.
Well, listen, again, if you don't know, I was pleasantly pleased at watching Knicks fans have to, go through that agony and that pain once again. So I enjoyed every bit of it. I enjoyed every bit of New York Knicks fans saying what coulda, woulda, shoulda been, but wasn't. And they keep saying, well, Jordan was the reason that we didn't win titles. But no, you guys played when Jordan left and you still lost. So, man, I'll tell you what, it's a lot of young dudes that are Knicks fans that are bald-headed. I'm not going to call their names because they're Knicks fans.
Bald-headed.
I'm just saying that stress of being a Knicks fan is horrible. It's horrible. But again, watching the documentary, I loved every single bit of watching the New York Knicks lose, not once, not twice, but every time.
If you live in New York or you rep New York, go to Brooklyn. Because at least they trying. Yo, I honestly, I just, again, they really remind me of the Cowboys because I never understand how Cowboys just blindly trust Jerry Jones. You got this owner, Mike Dolan, that is literally trying to sabotage you every day.
Literally.
Every day.
Literally.
And you can't, I don't know. It couldn't be me. My fandom cannot be one like that. I mean, I could support a loser. I'm a Mets fan. But what I can't support, but you know what the Mets do that they really, really, really don't get enough credit for? Yeah, we suck. And then like every 5-6 years, we make it to the World Series. I mean, we lose, but we get there.
Sounds like a New York team. Shouts out to everybody that's tuned in. Nene Kadia, shouts out to you. Shouts out to Juan Castillo. Uncle Juan was good.
Oh, yeah, he a Knicks fan.
Yeah, man. Stephen C.
Love, but I hate the Knicks.
Stephen C. couldn't wait to come on. He said, you didn't know Kobe and Mike were close. Wow. Like you really did, Stephen. Stop it.
You are the damn yo, they never not once talked glowing about each other.
Never. Wait.
Stephen C., you're not about to get me riled up.
Listen,
tonight.
I want to shout out our god brother Brian O'Brien. He's in the building, man. Always, supporting, tuning in, man. Shouts out to him. Brian O'Brien always invited to the cookout, man. Let that
Jesus.
Yes,
Oh, yo,
man.
you know what? Before we get out of here, one thing that I did want to talk about.
What's up?
One thing that was a little shocking to me of watching that documentary, how disrespected Mike felt that people thought that Clyde Drexler was on his level.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like,
aren't you a Trailblazers fan, Chris?
me being a Portland fan, of course. And I never thought that Drexler was, nobody's on Mike's level.
No.
But I mean, Drexler, it was no bum.
Right.
Okay, Drexler is no bum. And the disrespect Jordan felt to Drexler was funny. It was real funny. I mean, listen, I'm a Portland fan. We got a lot of heartbreak. A lot of heartbreak.
Hold on, wait, hold on, wait, hold on 1 second, hold on a second. Yo, Steven C, yo, you my G, but yo, you ain't gonna tell my Uncle Juan to shut up, yo. That's an OG right there, fam.
Ooh.
That's an OG right there, fam. That's an OG.
Whoa.
I know that you talking that talk, but you ain't gonna tell my uncle to shut
Whoa.
up, fam. That's the OG right there, fam. If you don't know, you better ask somebody, man. And he know basketball. He from Brooklyn. He rep it all day, and he love the Knicks. You know what I mean? So for you to talk crazy, you ain't gonna be talking crazy. He said it was obvious that they were close, and you not knowing is comedy. First of all, us not knowing how go, you know what, Chris? I'm gonna let Chris get you because again, he keeps alluding to the Kobe and Jordan how tight they were. We knew that they talked, but we didn't know how close they were because of the competitive juices. Michael Jordan played in an era where if I was against you, I respect you, but we're not gonna be that close. So go ahead.
This is what we're gonna do. At Kobe, and you can look this up. This is all stuff you could, Google it. As Shaq said, Google me. You can look all of this stuff up. At Kobe's memorial, when Jordan broke, that they had this really, really tight relationship. That was national news. So if it was so obvious, I mean, Steven C, you must got Jordan number or Kobe number on speed that you could talk to these people and get all of this inside information. Or maybe you're a beat writer for Chicago or maybe Los Angeles, and you got some inside info, but please share how you knew that they were as tight as everybody in the world recently found out. But, I mean, it's cool, man. You probably know more basketball than I ever played. You probably know my daddy middle name. I don't know. You probably know a whole bunch of stuff I don't know.
That's because we didn't play college, so we don't know.
Got the psychic hotline.
Yo, listen.
What
Steve,
was that psychic name? Cleo?
Miss Cleo? Yes.
Miss Cleo?
Miss Cleo.
He must got Miss Cleo.
That's why he was so good, yo, because he knew that Kobe and Jordan were that close. He knew that. He knew that they talked every day and that they were just the best of friends. He knew that.
Right. He knew. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, it goes with what you said, Chris. For one thing, nobody knew that until Mike said it. There could be speculation that he was cool with certain people or he let certain people in, but nobody knew that for sure. If anybody knows anything, that there has been one person that has been close to Mike to where people have known about it, has been Melo.
Yes.
There hasn't been anybody else that you can think about. It's been Carmelo. And just the fact that Michael Jordan only does interviews every 5 to 6 to 7 years, if any. So before this documentary, he hasn't even been on TV. So again, Steven C, you got that head wrap on, bro. You definitely got that Don't Rush Challenge head wrap going because you know more than we do.
Right. He said
he's Steven C. Smith, I guess. Mama Rose said hi to everybody. She just
tell her I said hi and that I love her.
Everybody
hold on.
hi.
Let me read his comment, man. Again, shouts out to Steven C, man. You gotta love this Piston fan. He said he's talking crazy on the Bad Boys Pistons. That's a grown man. He can handle it. Don't get mad because the Knicks who tried to use the Pistons formula, in quotes, in parentheses, I should say, didn't succeed in winning championships even in Mike's absence. Now, I would agree with you. They try to use that formula, but to say that, again, we talking about your ass saying that you knew Kobe and Jordan were that close. That's what we talking about. So I understand what you're saying, but, I mean, again, if you look at what was going on, they weren't getting blown out. they try to use the Pistons formula, and it almost worked. Again, I get what you're saying. They didn't win a championship, but shit, it got them to the finals in 1999. So, yeah, man, gotta love Steven C, man. You gotta love Steven C, man. I'm not mad. I'm not hating. You know, you just gotta love Steven C. Now I do want to talk about this week, fellas, because shouts out to Aaron Johnson. He said, now he's a Melo fan. He said, why does Melo get so much hate? And I want to talk about that because I want to have a few people call in because it's a lot of people when we talk about making the Hall of Fame. Larry Love does not like Chris Webber at all. Okay. He's not thrilled that Tracy McGrady got in as first ballot. So I do want to talk about some Hall of Fame expectations because he said Chauncey Billups is getting there. You know, it's a lot that we got to talk about. Also, some, you know, NFL news, also some NBA news. Anytime I see the NCAA going down, I love it. Shouts out to the G League, man. They putting a nail in the coffin on NCAA. Now they really trying to speed this whole process up of, you know, getting paid for your likeness, which we already thought that they were going to do anyway. But anytime you can make the NCAA nervous, I'm with you. So I do want to talk about that, fellas. And also anybody else that got any other ideas and suggestions, hit me up. You know, we definitely want to talk about that. But again, this was part 5 and 6 recap of The Last Dance. And we got to thank our sponsor, 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Also, where you can find us at Real DSTN1 on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube under Professional Sutton. Also, we got a little cash app there if you want to donate $1, $5, whatever. You know, we would love your donations. Also,
you only see cash app up there.
Listen, well then give me a cash app, man. Give me a cash app, man. Listen, I'm not trying to rob my brothers. You know what I mean? Like they said in the Bible, "What a man rob God." Okay, I'm not trying to do that, my brother. Okay, my name is not Lonnie Love. You know what I mean? It's AKA
sitting outside.
It's AKA Cuetito. Anyway, so I do want to talk about those subjects. We are going to get to that, fellas. Anything else?
Come on, man. Get out of here.
Chris getting beat up. Any other?
No, man. My cat just literally walked right across my tablet.
Oh, she disrespecting you.
Just disrespect in my face.
Acting like
just
Jordan.
Disrespect.
Acting like Scottie Pippen did Patrick Ewing. Disrespect. Oh man. I won't ever stop. I won't ever stop.
I will say this. This week, I definitely want to get into this NCAA because you already know how I feel about.
I love it.
Them, the masses and their money.
Yes,
but
they losing.
I will say one thing. I do just want to put this in the ether real quick.
Go ahead, please, Chris.
Don't let national news and all of these major sports organizations try to trick you young people into thinking that you're missing something from not going to college. Now, college ain't for everybody, but it's for some of y'all. You know what I mean? If you a 2-3 year player, you college is probably the right route for you. But if you a one and done player, don't let the John Calipari's, even the Mike Krzyzewski's, don't let none of them say, "Oh, you missing out on this great experience." No. You making them money and you ain't getting none. Remember that. Get your money whenever and whenever you can.
And also, on that note, in the words of my bruh, Marshawn Lynch, take care of that chicken. Don't be spinning it crazy. Make sure you good. So listen.
Take care of the mentals.
Because, we got to be young black. I can't say that, young black Africans. You know what I mean? But speaking of black Africans, we will be back next week. We will be covering episodes 7 and 8. So I can't wait to talk about that. I'm going to watch that when it comes out like everybody else because I'm not equal.
Let me tell you something. I ain't watching that. Next week, I'll be watching the Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott battle in my full African garb.
Well,
talking about you better call Tyrone.
Well, listen, I'm just saying because I heard that Jill Scott wrote a lot of what Erykah Badu did on her first album to Baduism. I'm just saying.
She did.
I'm just saying.
She did. Yo, this is gonna be a good battle. It's gonna be a gun. I'm excited about this.
You're gonna have a lot of brothers tuning in wearing dashikis, cause you know how
I'm gonna
Erica
get my
Badu
incense
get 'em.
burning. I'm gonna get my incense burning. I'm gonna have Dr. Umar Johnson playing in the background.
You're gonna be typing like this.
It's gonna be going down.
Oh man, like Chris, why does it smell like cocoa butter in here? He can be like, chill, Rose. I got this, baby. Calm down. Calm down. I got this. I got this.
I'm like, this is an Africans only stream, okay? This is an Africans only stream.
Well, I hope that they got the audio right, because I don't want to keep saying, hold on 1 second. Nah, hell no. Hell no. I would say what?
Nah. Two queens right there. We ain't gonna have no Teddy Riley issues.
Nah,
We ain't gonna have no Teddy Riley issues.
please not. But listen.
Excuse me, babyface. I think it's your mic. I think it's your people there. Nah, Teddy, I'm here alone.
Listen, we gotta go. Thank you again for tuning into another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy Chris G.
And it's your boy, the Ruck Report. Just
Peace.